So we're going to bring in right now to the show, oh, my good friend, Mark Reilly. He's the host of a YouTube channel called The Strange and Unusual. I want you to go subscribe to it if you already subscribed. Or you used to know it as like the Mark Reilly channel, but it's now The Strange and Unusual. Mark Reilly, how you doing? Can you hear me? How you doing? Where's the baby?
I can hear you. Can you hear me? Wait a minute.
You look beautiful. I hear you. You're sexy.
You hear me? Okay, wait, hold on a minute, because I don't really hear myself. There it is. I need new headphones because I pulled all this shit out of mothballs. The baby is right outside. I'll have the baby come in here. Can I have the baby sometime?
That's all you do. You just yell for babies and they show up. So first of all,
this baby is the best baby.
There's not an alien. First of all, you have ET behind you on the shelf. That's great for those watching. For the listening,
and Superman there, who is an alien.
He's an alien. So first,
Superman's an alien.
Before we dive into what I want to talk to tonight, and again, I don't have. I'm just. This is a wonder, and I want to be clear about that. I've been not only skeptical. I have been nope. That's a nope with my arms crossed on a lot of things.
Yeah.
And where it goes and how it goes to political stuff and the danger of conspiracy theories. But I know that's not you. But you've just launched The Strange and Unusual. Explain what you got going on.
Strange and Unusual is the new channel. Is something that I remember that scene in The Godfather Part 3 when Al Pacino, Michael Corleone, was out of the family business and then and trying to get out, and then he gets pulled back in.
Oh, that's the pulled me back in.
That's every time I'm out, they pull me back in. And there was always something calling me back to my channel because I had a good, healthy subscriber base, and people would always jump on that channel, hit me up on social media. What are you doing? Why aren't you doing things? And then having a daughter really changed my outlook on a lot of this.
Yeah.
And the world is just effing crazy.
Yeah.
Ken, it's just across the board. And I've seen things in my own life that I can't explain. I've had paranormal experiences. And, I was then finally talking to our friend Christian Harloff.
Heard of him.
And talking to him about this. Yeah. Because he does Down to Earth with Christian Harloff. And I said, these are things that I want to do. And he was very, very supportive of this. And I just immediately went and did this.
Love it.
And launched my first video today. It's on, you can look up at Reilly Around on YouTube. It's The Strange and Unusual, and it's kind of my mission statement, what I want to do. Ken, there are just weird things.
Yeah.
And there is now I'm very skeptical, but a healthy skeptic and an optimist.
Okay.
I've had my own experience of UFOs, UAPs. I've seen something I can't describe.
Yeah.
I've seen a UAP in front of me move, as I said in my video, without the chains of gravity. It just did what it wanted to do.
Right.
And then another one flashed me from behind. And then when I looked at that one, it just kind of took off like we got him, and just, I can't describe that. And that has stuck with me for so long. And then I just happen to always be sitting on my phone whenever it may be, and the algorithm knows me. And it's like, here's a picture of the paranormal of a guy saying that he caught a ghost on his Ring camera. And I'm always like, let's see. I want to see this guy. That's not a ghost. And then sometimes I'm like, God, that's weird. And then I start digging into the news, and the news is reporting all of this everywhere all the time. As somebody said on my first video out of the gate today, they said, weird shit, Reilly's weird shit channel. I'm here for it. And I'm like, that's
the weird shit.
That is the best description of what I love weird shit. And so I'm going to just do that. But in the meantime, there's a lot of UAP stuff that I am scratching my head on because there are go.
Sorry, no, this is all great. No, I wanted to give you. You're one of my nearest and dearest, and I love that you're launching this endeavor, and I fully support it. And like I said, I've been aggressively against this stuff in the past. There's it. Speaking of not an alien, from another planet.
Now I'm just
we got JJ
here, and we're gonna sit here and just do this.
We're gonna talk aliens with a baby. So
she's got an alien in her mouth right
now. The idea, and I want to make sure it's not a fact. It's not a fact. But the idea that we are obsessed with UFOs, UAPs as a country. What's your general thought on that, including any pushback? And again, I'm not looking for specific cases, UK, Russia, anything like that. And it makes sense. We're pretty dense over here, and we all have phones.
I was very shocked by looking at your map, and I just that is something. Again, I'm somebody that just wants to believe that there's more out there in the world. I'm somebody that you should probably take her. She's all kicky.
I mean, if she's kicking, that's a problem. But I don't want you to be kicked while you're talking.
She's the cutest thing in the whole wide world.
In the whole wide world. And
in the whole wide world
and other planets. All right, but you're looking for something to believe, and I don't mean that sounds cynical, like you're looking. I get it, and again, you've come on my channel and both in character and in real life explained weird things that have happened in the wilds of Michigan, right? And you were in Michigan.
I was actually filming a movie about an alien. About the trope cabin in the woods, and instead of a slasher outside the window, it's a bunch of aliens. That was the whole premise of it. And my director at the time, he has, who I'm going to bring him on the channel, he has claimed and he believes it 100%. No, Mark, I have been abducted by aliens and they've implanted me with stuff. And he believes it. Now, I can say you are full of it and I don't believe it, but I'm not him. He is somebody that believes it with his entire being. He's more than 5 times. And when those weird UAPs showed up when we were in the woods of Michigan filming this movie, and we were walking together, he literally looked up, saw it the same time I saw it, and he had a here we go again,
right?
Like he's seen these. He has seen so many UAPs in his life, and I said in my video, I'm like, it's like they tagged you like a shark and put you out in the wild to watch you. Now, I can't describe that. Some of his stories are incredibly vivid, weird, strange, unusual, all of it. And it's crazy.
Well,
I don't know. And so to your point, I have no idea why USA and the United States is the most,
USA.
UFOs, UAP sightings. That seems weird and odd, and like we want attention or something.
It's not even that. Here, I'll start with the negative side of it. That you and I've had these conversations where I just kind of believe the conspiracy theory mindset is a dangerous mindset that leads to a lot of quick, powerful jumps to conclusions. We were talking earlier before you got on about if you think the NFL is rigged or Major League Baseball, NBA, you can't be pulled off of that, even if there's facts. And you going, hey, I want answers. I had something, like I said, I told him in 2001 summer, I had something weird I saw in the sky. I'm 100% real. So your friend, I believe him in the sense of, I want to hear, I'm not immediately going, oh, what are you, nutball? No, that's not productive. But when you hear that it's tied, that most of them predominantly, outside of the density reason, but most of them are predominantly tied to the United States. And then you see what's going on in the government today. You see where just today, one of Trump's big things was I'm releasing the JFK files, which, by the way, I think there's probably some dirty laundry going on there that needs to be aired. But it's not about conspiracy. That's just about plots. What's your reaction to just how it all ties together, including, and I'll throw this and I'll hand it back to you. I am a true believer that the Soviet Union, from the end of World War I, when they saw what was coming and the Cold War began, before they all signed deals and divided things up, they were the ones that said, oh, crap, we found Hitler's teeth, but not his body. The teeth were in another body. Let's tell everyone he escaped. Stalin tells that to the Secretary of State. Stalin tells that to Truman. And then it's not proven, but then, the case of Roswell kind of be related to some of their stuff. It's a bigger leap for me. But that they would use that disinformation against us and that we would consistently fall for it relating to nowadays, election fraud, any of those kind of things. Where do you go with that? And that's a big thing. I get
it's a lot to unpack there.
That was the longest question I've ever asked.
4? There, the answer is 4. Name the movie. Anybody know that movie?
I don't know.
So I believe that most of this can and is misinformation, disinformation, and just letting just the telephone game do its thing. You know, we said this, we said that, and then, you know, what's interesting is, to me, is the people that I look at, like military people, people that have high level clearances, classified information, are starting to come forward in this disclosure era that we're starting to find ourselves in. There's a documentary coming out that shocked the hell out of me. The Age of Disclosure documentary. Have you seen the trailer for this, Ken?
Not yet, but I will, and I definitely will watch it.
It's fascinating because like 25 high-ranking Pentagon government employees have finally stepped forward, and on this documentary have come out and said, I have seen non-human intelligence and have seen these, you know, vehicles, whatever you want to call them, UAPs, firsthand. We are not alone in the universe. Now, I just take that at face value. Why are these people saying that? What
Fair.
is that?
I'm with you on it.
Is that a part of the disinformation? We're going to say this because what it really is government tech, held by Russia, China, and the United States in a Cold War, so to speak, behind the scenes, not wanting us to know we have advanced our technology so far that would blow everybody's mind. So we're going to hide behind aliens and just say it's aliens and they're real.
Sure.
And that means all of us are like, oh, we could put it somewhere else where aliens in the zeitgeist can be E.T., Kal-El, or angels, demons, people that want to hold on to religious aspects of it and go, well, they are demons and aliens and or angels and whatnot. I want to look at all of this as just as grounded as possible because I don't know what to believe. Well, I am a regular person having seen something in the sky, looking at people saying what they're saying.
Yes.
And just wanting to just ask questions and ask questions and ask questions and hope to God maybe within my lifetime there's some sort of answer.
So let me jump in there. You talk about I'm going to watch this thing. You talk about 25 Pentagon officials and everything. I want to see that stuff. And I do hold that holds a little more water with me. But like I tell you what, I don't have anything against David Grush. I don't have anything against Ryan Graves.
He's very credible.
Yeah, but I keep going back to the fact that they're all tied together. It's a group of about 20. The George Knapses, the Lou Elizondo, whose story changes every time he talks, who keeps promise and disclosure. I've got it, never gives it. George Knapp, who read a book on Jeremy Corbell. All these folks, they're very closely tied together. They're on a very profitable circuit. So my cynical hackles go up.
Yeah.
But I pitched to you this question. Here's why you and I connect on this and talk about it. If answers come, we need to know those answers. So when some of these things are debunked, I wish more on, I'll say that side, not politically, but on the aliens are here living amongst us, don't you know crowd. I wish they would accept some debunkings a lot easier because it would make the search a little bit more credible for me. Am I off base in that? I don't want to lead you with a question. That's just my thoughts.
No, I agree with that. I think that they're on every kind of, wherever you may fall. I think there are people out there that just debunk everything. And I think that there are people out there that just believe everything. I saw a balloon and it's an alien. They just and they want to believe. I think there's on either side of the spectrum, and there's that middle ground that I'm always looking for, that when you see something, it's like, okay, let's go through all the things that it could be before you jump to, that was a reptilian alien flying around looking for babies to eat. Right. You know what I mean? I've heard that one.
Yes.
Where it's just crazy.
Well, again, and you're not saying this, but like I did a lot of research on the Denver airport stuff, and the origin of the Denver airport stuff is a 1996 interview with an author named Alex Christopher, and she went on a radio show that was profiting off this kind of theory stuff, and came up with the lizard people are at the Denver airport. It's Illuminati stuff. And she's a Holocaust denier. And a lot of her stuff begins there. I'm not saying everything goes. But once you discover that, and some of the people are talking about, I used to be a big fan of one big debunker. I unfollowed him the moment he revealed himself to be mega. That's it. I'm done. But like I am a giant fan of Mick West because I feel he does what you're saying. All right, let me look at it. Here's the evidence. I'll show you my work. Here's what I've come up with.
Yeah.
But I know he's hated by a lot of folks.
Yeah, and I also know that when I was on the show with Christian for many months, for almost a year.
Yeah, I've heard of him.
Yeah, there was like a kind of a community that was very like standoffish and like, you can't, this is ours, and it's like, just no, I just want to ask questions. I just like, I'm part of this world as much as you are. So
yeah, but is there value? Let me not lead you. I do want to say more on Mick West, but do you think there's values in debunks as we search for more answers?
Absolutely. I think you need to be open to that. I again, like, there are people that are scientific that can debunk these things more than I can, you know?
Yeah,
so
and some that would throw it back at me and throw terms at me that'd be like, I don't know. I guess ET's here, right? Like I'm a common man. I'm a layman. Yeah, I'm just seeing it from the side of what. So there was a case recently of something that was up. It was, I think, a videotape from like New Jersey or something. Two brothers like are saying Mick West used false information to come up with his conclusion, because if he'd used the real information, his point would have been disproven. So he came back with a rebuttal video, literally showed everything that was done on Google Maps and said, here's the thing, here's the shot, here's the goddamn plane that was flying there, and these brothers are still fighting him on it. And my thought is like, at what point do you stop that grift and then start looking for what's real? Because I can't explain your story. I can't explain what I saw. I want to know.
I can't explain certain things. It's certainly not what I saw. And then there's like just a very spiritual part of me that has other ideas and other, like,
do you know people? Sorry, no, continue.
Our good friend Eric Bass saw something very similar to what I saw, and that there is.
Explain quickly what you saw. Explain. You know what? We get
the lights.
Okay.
Yeah, the light was floating across the sky, stopped, hovered, zipped off very fast, came back, zipped back in, and then behind me, the light just whoosh, I remember seeing the treetops of Michigan light up, and I was so scared, flew around. There was another light, and it slowly faded off in the distance, like it was looking at me. And then as it got kind of in the clouds, it kind of just took off, like without any kind of propulsion that I could, like, you know, if it was like maybe an engine, it'd be, you know, but it floating and then, you know, boom, it took off. And I was like, well, what in the holy hell was that?
Well, I got bad news.
And how?
I got bad news. Michigan native Laserbolt says that was just a deer, Reilly. That's what they do. They have Duracells.
Boy, those deers. Yeah, those deer blinds are freaking high up there, aren't they?
I believe you, right? I want that clear. I believe you. Because I saw from my security vehicle in 2000-ish, in the summer of 2000, while eating tacos from Del Taco, I saw something in the air floating weird. Didn't look like a helicopter because I saw the LAPD airships every night, and it did something weird. It zoomed away, which is something I've heard other people describe. Military, whatever. I don't know. But I believe your story. But in your case, and this is not the case, but if I was able to go through and triangulate and do some Star Trek stuff and find, oh, Mark, it was a Airwolf 303 helicopter. Here it is at this time. Would that be an answer for you, or would you think, nah?
Absolutely.
Honestly.
I mean, honestly, if somebody came in, depends on who it is. I mean, if it's like some sleuth on the internet that's just wanting to debunk me, you know what I mean? Like,
which could be annoying.
Which could be annoying. But if they're like show me all the evidence. Yeah, at that time of night, on the date you're saying, I was able to find the records that there was 2 Airwolf helicopter, blah, blah, blahs in your vicinity. Whatever it may be, I'd be like, well, that's probably the answer.
I do love
more
that.
So than, yeah.
Two childs of the 80s that you went with my Airwolf reference, and then you just said, that's it. Santini Air is there. It's good. Yeah, no, and I'm not, and I want to be clear, but I just, and this conversation's going beyond what maybe my even topic was, but we're obsessed with it. There's more sightings, there's more things, and look, I think Starlink satellites seem to be 90. I just went to Metabunk tonight, and it's like another one, another one, Starlink, another one, Starlink, another, Starlink, yeah, and a lot of that, and I'm not saying everyone goes against that. I'm just saying there's a lot of things in the air now, and a lot of things we don't see.
Yeah, like the drones in New Jersey that are popping up all over.
They're weird, and they're big, and
Yeah, that's look. I know somebody that said you don't say where it came from, but you can talk about it. I actually have somebody that says I know of. I have a friend who told me what those drones are and what they're doing. And I was like, what? Okay. And they're like, is somebody that works in a 3-letter organization for the government.
The NFL, which stands for not from along around here.
Exactly. Said that it could be, it's probably what they said it's probably government drones looking for a high-ranking asset that they are worried about, that got in the wrong hands, or somebody that they're looking for, and the government is not going to tell you what that is. So they said it could be a weapon that was smuggled somewhere, and they don't know where, and so these drones are looking. It could be a high-ranking wanted person, that has something and the government is not, and that's why the government is not saying shit.
And
they're not saying anything about what these drones are doing.
And your friend this person has the answers related more to that than alien. Did I hear?
There was no alien mention. There's no, those are aliens. Those are, no, this is more down to earth.
And is that
like,
those
are government drones looking for something,
and that's a great. That's
going to tell you.
That's a great show with Christian Harloff. But we're talking about the strange and unusual with Mark Reilly. And this person's going to come on your show.
Oh, I don't know if they will or not.
So so when you hear, and I hope I'm not coming off as you didn't know what you're stepping into tonight. I am trying to open up my mind a little bit more. I'm trying to exchange, and you and I can exchange ideas and conversate, not really actually a word, I don't think. It's been used as a real word for years. Talk about this, because I was so obsessed with it. I was so obsessed with the idea that I want to know what's going on, until I really dug in and just discovered a lot of these connections, and I couldn't get past the cynicism. We have a mutual pal who loves Star Wars. We used to love Star Wars. Christian Harloff, I hope he's watching, who's all in. And you're in, but I can talk to you about it a little easier, because my thing is, hey, when Project Mogul is kind of revealed as the reason behind what Roswell, not necessarily Stalin and the Annie Jacobson stuff that I do think is fascinating and might have some legitimacy to it, but it's Project Mogul. And no one in the military wanted us to know about Project Mogul, which was a recording on high altitude balloons. The Cold War was going. We're freaked out, and shit, one crashed. We better, weird things happen. Sometimes when the answer is the answer, I just want the answer to be accepted so that we can continue to look. And when your thing about some of it being spiritual, I know people in my life who've claimed they've seen angels come down from heaven, and they weren't on drugs. So I can't dispute that. I wasn't there.
Yeah, I just spiritually, I believe that there is a greater power, so to speak. You may call it God, you may call it whatever. But angels, demons, I don't know. There's recurring visual cues throughout our history, in arts, that shows angels coming down from the heavens. Could be a UAP, could be something else, who knows. That to me is the spiritual side of it, where I want to believe. And again, when I say I want to believe, I know there's an X-Files thing.
It's a great T-shirt. Yeah, it's a great T-shirt.
It's a great T-shirt, but that's kind of where I hold myself. I want to believe, and I'm not going to, though, get blinded by, I don't want to fall into conspiracy. That's not great. I don't want to fall into, immediately debunk. I don't want to fall into immediately the aliens are here. All hail our
we got to worry about AI more than the aliens, but
AI is more clear and present danger than anything up there right now.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But I love watching these encounters. I watched that documentary, and I finally finished the last episode where there was a Japanese woman that says, "Oh yeah, I can speak to the aliens, and I saw them when the Fukushima reactor blew up, and all of a sudden, these lights are all over the place, and there was a gentleman from his window saw one just kind of hover in front of him, a big disc, and he says, I think the aliens are trying to warn us. I think they're talking to us. I think they're looking out for us." That's a very nice, that episode was a very, very nice way to look at it, where they were like, these aliens are looking out for us and they want to communicate with us. I want to believe that more than anything is that my friend E.T. is going to come down, collect some plants, eat some Reese's Pieces with me. We're going to go on Halloween adventure, and then he's going to head off and he's going to hug me and say, I love you. I would love to see that.
Yeah.
Is that true? Probably not. Are they here? Are they under the ground and lightning's going to hit and all of a sudden they're going to come out and they're going to torch everybody and Tom Cruise is the only one that can
I was going to say,
probably not.
If that's the case, I'm packing peanut butter jelly sandwiches now. We're heading to that ferry before the aliens come out of the water.
Yeah, and these are all stories to just, that's the thing about you that I told many times. I said to Christian Harloff, because I know he wants to believe, I want to believe the disclosure, the government disclosures, and why it doesn't hit the mainstream news is that the alien UAP phenomenon is, you might as well say, I saw a UAP flying alongside Gandalf who was riding a dragon. Because it's all fiction, fantasy. It's been couched in our culture as nothing but fiction and fantasy. And that's what people believe. So when you say there's a UAP up there and it might be alien, there's non-human stuff in there. That government official is saying this. My wife literally looked at me the other day and went, interesting. Anyways, what do you want for dinner? It was just, and
Julie will
I
lead
want
us
to
all.
believe that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to believe these things, but is it real? I don't know.
We're going to wrap up this segment here. I've taken too much of your time tonight, but this was a great. I love. Thank you so much for calling in. But this folks. By the way, I didn't have Mark Reilly wasn't planned. I texted him maybe half hour before the show, and so we could jump on. I was just gonna ask some questions.
Randolph. I said Rand.
Yeah,
I read Gandalf in the chat.
Steve says Gandalf.
Random.
Gandalf and the Dragon was Randolph. All right. I was going to send it off here, but Addie, our resident professor of smart things, has a question here. It says, "Okay, what's a UAP versus UFO?" It's Addie. It's funny you mentioned that because earlier in the show, Addie, we were talking about global warming is a term almost we shouldn't use anymore because it comes with it some baggage in the branding, much like I think. Maybe don't use the phrase defund the police when you're trying to talk about law enforcement issues, which I think are very real and I support. I believe in the restructuring or the retraining of law enforcement or the refocusing of law enforcement to funding, whether true or not. It's just a buzzword. Global warming. Well, it's pretty cold right now. We got bad advertising. UFO, and I'm not saying this was the only reason why. Unidentified flying objects becomes, what is it? UFO is unexplained.
Unexplained aerial phenomenon. Yeah. That's the difference.
I don't say that cynically. I say that's all right. That opens up the categories to say, yeah, it's a satellite you didn't know, or it's Gandalf and a dragon. I think it's right. Yeah, it's right. Yeah,
it's a drone. It's a drone being operated by an elf that's hiding under a bridge that's been around for thousands of years.
I really want someone to draw that. Please send in some fan art of that.
Can you imagine? It's Legolas with his own DJI, and he's just like,
here's the thing.
I'm going to go check out the fires.
Started by space lasers.
Yeah.
Here's the
way, people with drones, don't fly over the fires, you dummies.
Mark Reilly, drone owner, letting you all know, do not fly over the fires. Mark,
what are you doing?
We're going to wrap this up here, but I do want people to watch The Strange and Unusual with Mark Reilly. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. You'll just have to do me this one favor. If you get a guest on who says, I know, you've got to say, then tell us until they do or don't. That's the only thing I ask you to do.
I know. You mean I know about aliens?
I don't care. Or if they come on your show and Lou Elizondo with his little Limp Bizkit 1999 half little goatee thing says, full disclosure is coming. I know. He's got to say it now. He can't say, in my book to be released next year. I want you to press people. Press people, Mark. It's the only thing I'm asking you to do.
It's so tiring.
It's the only thing I'm asking you to do.
I would love the answers. And, is it just a bunch of tech from Russia, China, and the USA? Probably.
Could be any of these things. It could be aliens. Mars could be attacking. Mars could be attacking. They're not helping.
You saw me. Yeah. There's in my video, I love Mars attacks, by the way. Movie. Very underrated. I mean, if it's science-based, I mean, I want to get into, I don't know about this disclosure and getting guests on where they're like, that world, Ken, Lou Elizondo, the George Knaps, and that they are really cutthroat. This like disclosure, whether they have evidence.
It's a money-making machine. God bless them. And that means I'm automatically cynical. So give me the scoop. Tell us.
On my channel in the comments, somebody said, I want their name. I'm going to get it right now.
You give me a goddamn name.
I love this. What is this? Where is he? Oh, damn it. Why did he no, maybe I have to refresh. But the weird shit on Reilly's channel, I'm here for it. I saw that. That's what I want.
I want that.
That's what this is. Weird videos, and whether I'm not going to have any answers. I'm just going to talk about this and wonder about this and ask, because these things that are out there really force you to be existential and
I love it.
Question what's going on and wonder why is my camera doing that? Do you see that? It's doing this like
no, it looks, you're actually showing on screen. Your autofocus is showing on screen. You for the aliens, only Jeremy Corbell will tell us. Sign up for his courses, $10.99 a week. All right. I'm not being cynical about you. You know that. I love you. You're one of my favorites. You've actually helped me through a very tough time this week. I won't say on air.
Thank you,
something going on with me. So I appreciate it. By the way,
I love you, brother.
By the way, today only made $6. But so we'll talk more. The strange and unusual. Mark Reilly. Thanks for calling in, buddy. You got a baby to go feed. Well, your wife's doing all the heavy lifting.
I gotta feed myself. I'm hungry. All right, everybody. Go check out the channel. Thank you. I'm dropping my first video tomorrow morning.
Can't wait. I'll be there.
Babies and all. All right. Bye, everybody.
Mark Yodi Reilly, check it in.